Hello, hi everyone. We are back after a long time, and today is exactly a month since the cohort has been away as part of their industry exposure phase. So, during this phase, all the cohort members, all these teens are going out in their respective industry and domains and trying to kind of get themselves an understanding of what their industry is like by working in those industry. And today we have with us one family, a parent and a teen, sharing all about how this whole experience has been for the last 1 month. So we will just shortly add them. So just to give you an introduction, we have with us Aparna, who is 13, and her mother, uh, Yogi.
Hi, Jupiter.
Hi, Aparna.
Hi.
All right. So I'll just introduce the two of you first and give a brief context of what you all have been up to. So, as I was saying, Aparna has been interested in natural building, and for the last 1 month, her main objective was to get as much exposure in this field as possible. And while most of us think of industry exposure nowadays only through internships because they are a big buzzwords, but I will kind of explore what all Aparna has done and what each exposure, what brings uh, in her understanding. So, and yes, of course, Yogi also has been a very active part of this whole journey with Aparna. And we will also hear from her as to what it means for a parent when the child is going through this journey. And okay, so somewhere we had some chit chat with Aparna last time. So I'll start with Yogi now. So Yogi, I know it's been a month now, and somewhere I know like you've been traveling to places with Aparna, and there was a lot of fear initially, some lack of clarity as to how are we going to do this. So after a month, maybe reflect on where you started from.
Yeah. So when we were in the process of searching for an internship, the initial concern was about her accommodation and safety. As a parent, we focus more on this. And with respect to learning, of course, I know she can manage on her own self. That is for sure. So what we decided was we thought of visiting the place in person so we can know how far to stay a place safe and secure.
Okay.
Yeah, so in that way, we visited various places and we were with her all through the journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember, like, you were trying to, so in this process of finding the internship or understanding how safe it is, tell us about that journey. I know you guys visited some places, and, there were a couple of places you thought, not for the safety reason, but ultimately you were kind of choosing what, where, and how to go about doing. So how did that clarity come about, okay, this is where we are finally going to start our internship with?
Yeah. So the first place we visited was Auroville.
Hmm.
Uh, so we thought we can start from there, but uh, the project that is going on there is about to finish. So that's the reason we skipped the oral. It's not nothing concerned with safety. So they told us that since the project is about to finish, they said the scope for learning is little less by this time, and still they gave us a chance whether we can be with them even at the finishing stage, or we can come back after a month or two when a new project is about to start. So we were welcomed everywhere. So it's our conscious choice of looking for a place where we can get more scope with respect to learning by laying hands on work. And even before Auroville, we visited this place Managam. We stayed for a day, and Aparna looked for multiple options so that she can learn quickly. Since she's a quick learner, she looked for multiple options. So after visiting Auroville, we thought, okay, as of now, we can be at Mannagam. And Aparna also said, Amma, let me focus one thing at a time so that I can get expertise on the area which I choose. So it was her conscious decision, and we were with her. And Mannagam, there are some 4 or 5 families who are doing homeschooling. So we stay there, we interact with them. So it is a friendly ambience. Yeah, it's like almost like Orohi. We can also visit and explore. Yeah, that's the thing.
Sure. We have a question from someone. They're asking, is your child homeschooled? You want to just kind of elaborate on how Aparna's, a brief about her OL journey?
Yeah. So till 6th mid, she was in regular conventional school. Yeah. So my daughter is born on 2009, and my younger one is 2020 born. So during till my second pregnancy, I was always available for Aparna. And we don't have any grievance with respect to conventional schooling also. She was good at studies. Yeah, but I was with her all the time available. So during my pregnancy, there was a time where I can't be with her always. And then I realized that, so whatever she's learning, she needs my presence always. So somewhere I felt like she's losing her individuality, like decision making. Yeah, she's good in everything, no doubt about that. But I felt somewhere, my thoughts are entering into her mind. Whatever I think I'm making her to do, and she's an obedient child who respect her parents. So I felt that has to be changed at some point. Uh, and only by that time I heard about homeschooling. That word itself impressed me a lot. And even before that, one day one of our friend was having a talk with me about homeschooling, where his friend is doing homeschooling with his 3 children. And the reason he gave about homeschooling impressed me a lot. So actually, one child, he was homeschooled and he was sent to conventional school. And after going for a couple of days, the child was reluctant to go to regular school. The parents of that particular child asked him, can you give me one genuine reason for why you want to quit regular school? For that, the child immediately gave the response, I can give you many reasons, but first of all, the thing that I want to bring to your notice is, see, in regular school, they are not allowing me to talk to my friends who's sitting close to me. And whenever I feel like going for toilet, I was not allowed to go for toilet. And even whenever I feel thirsty, I'm not allowed to drink water by that time. So somewhere these are all simple things. In the name of structuring, we are not obeying our nature call. So in a way, we are going again away from nature, not against nature, away from nature. So we are conditioning our body instead of going with the natural rhythm. So that thought was already there in my mind. And even with respect to my own schooling, when I reflect, I feel like there's not much connection between what I studied in the school and what I'm doing currently. So whatever I'm doing currently is by my own experience. That is out of book, to be frank. So all these things gave some reflection, and it's me who initiated this homeschooling thought to Aparna, and she was not happy initially. So when I said homeschooling, the immediate answer from her was, Amma, whatever experiment you want to do, you do with your son, but not with me. Yeah. And then of course, we used to travel a lot. So we visited Aarohi. So we stayed there for 5 days. As a family, we stayed there. So on the first day, it was like normal day. On the 5th day, I asked Aparna, do you still want to continue your regular schooling? Immediately she said no. From that day onwards, she stopped going to her conventional school. That's how we started.
Right, right. I'm just going to, switch the focus a bit to Aparna because she's,
Yeah.
smiling from the back. Uh, because I think I was also witness. I mean, I had briefly met Aparna then, when she was in that transition phase. So Aparna, you tell about, what was that phase like and how, yes, homeschooling and how learning with a community, how that made a difference to your whole learning journey in the last 3 years, right?
Okay, so when I started homeschooling, I used to not do much things. I used to just sit simply. Somewhere inside me, I had this fear: what will my future be if I just keep sitting? Homeschooling doesn't mean you sit simply and just do some time pass. So when the time passed away, automatically the thought came into me. It was not my mother or parents or community members who forced me to that thought, but it automatically came to my mind. That's where I started doing stuff. I started exploring a lot of new things, which even I didn't know that even existed. So that gave me a new exposure. That's how I got to a lot of doing. Yeah.
Right, right. So, Amna, just to answer your question, I would suggest Arohi has been an open learning community for the last 15 years, and we continue with the tradition even now. So, come for our meetups, get an understanding of how families first gather the support between themselves and get an understanding of what this means for the whole family, not just for the child. Because homeschooling or open learning, as we call it at ROB, which is more to do with learning with the community, where the entire family gets involved in the process. Of course, it doesn't mean that one parents have to like look, keep their jobs and other things away and focus all the time on the child. It doesn't mean that. But to get a bigger and a more in-depth understanding, I would suggest refer to our website, attend our meetups where each week a family comes and talks about their journey. So now we will shift the focus back to, the current uh, journey after the last 3 years. Okay. So I think we'll come to the internship, which any which ways, a lot of people have some understanding about. But Aparna, one very interesting thing about your journey that I've realized is you did many things, like you volunteered for some workshop and you visited places to kind of get a feel of what they're doing. You actually, I remember you traveling to places to look at how the local architecture is. So tell us what each of this experience, what flavor it adds to your entire journey. Of course, internship is the heavy duty stuff. We'll come to it later. But apart from internship, what are the other things you did and how it helped you?
Okay, so natural building is a basic word, but each and everyone does it in their own way. It's not everyone does the same mixture for every place because it depends upon the mud and the locality, and it depends upon the person who's doing. As far as I have seen and met people who are doing it, they each and every person have their own technique which they follow and use for their stuff. I got to learn each and every new thing. So when I went and when I went for a workshop, I learned that you can use tarpal. It helps you to mix faster. So each and every place there is something new which you get from that person, and you get to listen to different perspectives, and you get to connect with different people who are in the field, which gives you a lot of learnings and the connection with different people in the industry. That helps a lot.
Right. Right. And somewhere in one of your reflections, you were saying like initially you were a bit hesitant to talk to people, connect with them all, adults or much older to you. How did you break that ice? And now how is it like, connecting with people who are in the field, maybe much older to you, but do you feel it any way now?
So first I had that fear, but somewhere I got the thought the worst thing which they will say is no, and I don't think I'll get affected because of that. So even if they reject it, I'm not going to feel for it. So it's okay to just show who am I. I don't need to show somebody else inside me. So yeah.
Right, right. Okay. And talk, I mean, maybe Yogi, both of you can add. How was the whole travel experience, right? Travel as an learning exposure is really undervalued if you see. But if you can share how that helps, especially in fields like natural building, which is where it is so important, how can, so that other families can also understand and relate from your experience and take it up seriously.
Yeah, so somewhere I and Aparna have similar interest. So even before she joined Aarohi, I think we have attended a couple of workshops related to mud building. And we used to sit and talk together that we have to decide our own home. And since I come from farming family, I know how important it is we have to be in connection with nature. And of course, mud building is one of the way to have connection with nature. So even when she was attending this last workshop, I was also being there now and then. So I learned. So if you construct mud building, you can reduce the temperature by around 5 to 6 degrees. Just see how now we talk about global warming, everything. So it's not that a child has to learn. We even parents we are learning. We should also learn. You know, life is till our last breath. We are in the process of learning, but without knowing that we are learning. So this learning happens consciously. So through homeschooling, I would rather say the learning happens consciously. Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you like to add?
Yeah. So when I travel, no, it's not only I learn about the mud building. I also, on the way of the traveling, I see a lot of different stuff. So very recently, I went to my brother's school, and there they had a system. So in the staircase, we usually have something in the right side to hold handrails. So there they had it in a different way. They had rods with certain gaps. So the child of its height can use it. It's not only big or one particular height people can use it. Even the smallest one to the adults can use it for holding because the size was there. So when you go to different place, it's not only you learn about mud building, you also learn quite a lot of other things which may help you in your life or may not, but there's some learning in it.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's come now as part of your CoVersity journey. I know the first 3 months you were on campus, where all of you, as part of the cohort, were doing a lot of, let's say, projects or routine challenges related to your field to kind of build the rigor that you need when you go out there in the industry. Now you started with your internship. Share more details about that. Right from, like, sometimes I know you are making cop balls every other day, right? So how that whole experience has been, and maybe talk about how this whole working in order to learning, right? Like where you are applying your skills by virtue of working. You're working and your skills get applied. So talk about those aspects, how they have come into play during your internship.
Okay, so when I started working, I didn't have any feeling. I just started working, but later I realized each and every day I'm really enjoying it and going. And I get learning, but I'm enjoying the learning whichever I'm getting. Since I don't know what would be the exact reason for that, but I'm enjoying the whole process of this. And my architect, who's guiding me and mentoring me, she is also like very conscious of giving me different exposures and different learning. She makes me to use all the machineries over there, do all the work which all the workers over there do, so that I get that hands-on experience through that. So it was like she is also conscious and I am also conscious about the learning which I want to get, and I'm also enjoying the process.
Right. I know, like, so see, sometimes what happens, many people ask us, like, how will they build skills and how will they learn, right? Now I know, like, within a few days of your internship, your mentor asked you to design the whole cob mud oven. And you started the sketching and all those things. How can you share a bit about your process? How does a open learner go about approaching their work without
Okay. So,
education in that space? Like, how do you approach the work that you're planning to do?
okay, so I am a person who doesn't like researching in the sense sitting in front of laptop and reading it. But that's somewhere part of your life. It comes automatically when you have to do something. So I had to accept it at first stage, and that's I started reading and watching a lot of videos, and I was in Instagram. I found a lot of people who are specialists in mud oven building, and they do it in different ways. So each and every oven they have some uniqueness, and that's when I started to learn about the heat capacities. You have to use glass bottles for the heat to maintain and spread over the place, and all those. So it's I get to learn all the chemistry, physics in between this. Yeah.
So while you're not sitting down and studying each of those ratios, structures separately, you're doing all of that integrated, as they say. Like, because you're working on this, you're naturally learning all those aspects. Wonderful.
Yes.
And talk to us about what happens when things are not going your way. How is it then? Like, you're not in your comfort zone, you're away from home, away from campus, in a new environment, things are not going your way. How is Aparna handling that? And what is it doing to you as a person?
Okay, so when I have that mood swings, and that's when I take. So when I'm really tired at the state, I take some 5 minutes break now and then so that I can maintain my energy level. And I also started connecting with the people who are there. I didn't connect much with them, but later when I started connecting with them, and in the night time, once the works and everything gets over, I used to connect with them, like speak with them, and we played quite a lot of games. I played with them. So when I connected with them, it was like having my me time, fun time, and entertainment. So that helped me a lot to bring back my mood and get the energy for the next day.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, I think we got a quite, a lot of anecdotes from both of you. Before we wind up, no, I want to know from Yogi. Yogi, what was Yogi's state of mind 30 days back, and what is the state of mind now?
Um, Maybe I used to feel like I didn't get such opportunities during my learning period. So we are into construction line. So people come with certificates. So people concerned with respect to colleges, no, you can get certificates. But we get people with certificate but not with skills. But Aparna comes with skill and she's doing self-certification. So both the way it is more fruitful. And uh, since she has softened mud building or construction, partly should be exposed even to sunlight. So I see so many benefits, not having white collar job. I feel so happy. Sorry, some this. So we are into closed room somewhere, right? So right from childhood, her body is also molded to do some physical work. Yeah, so she is in connection with all the five Panchabhutas. So I see so many benefits when she does this thing. Yeah, so even my father, initially, he got some self doubt like, is it possible for a girl to do it? Is it safe? You are going there and leaving your daughter somewhere, you know. But now, after seeing the videos of how she's doing and all, now he's giving tips like how he how her fathers used to construct the houses, how he has been trained. So now many sharings are coming out as an input for her. Yeah. So I feel more confident now that yeah, she can rock one day. Of course, she's doing that now also. Yeah.
Super. Okay, one last question. See, what happens is when we are sharing that you're going, accompanying your child to these spaces, I also want to clarify that Yogi is equally involved. She's an entrepreneur, she's involved in her businesses and stuff. So, Yogi, we don't want to give people the impression that the parent has to, is like 100% devoted to everything that the child is doing. So, maybe talk about how you're balancing your time and where all you feel you're giving your inputs to Aparna. In fact, I feel when you're in this open learning mode, parents get much more, time for themselves. So maybe you would want to kind of validate that.
Okay. So in Auroville, there is a situation because since she is under 18, considering her safety, one of the parent has to be there. But in Managam, we feel it is more home friendly, and she's staying there. We are not with her always. Yeah, and we also get updates from them. The co-founder of Managam, he used to call us and give updates about how Aparna is performing, and he told me like Aparna is doing good job here, and she wants to lay hands by herself, and I feel like she don't feel homesick there. This was a word told by the co-founder because she is in such an ambience. So we are happy about that. And somewhere like even if struggle comes, whenever she is needed, we are with her. Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah. That's the thing. And it's not necessary that I have to travel with her always. Since she volunteered for very recently she volunteered for the workshop which happened nearby my home. So what I'll do is, since I want to spend some time with her, I went and stayed with her in the night. So I enjoyed all the fun along with fellow participants, and daytime I'll come back and I'll do my work. So it is not only considering the safety of Aparna I'm going. I'm just enjoying the fun. Since many people are coming as a part and parcel of workshop, they are sharing their ideas, values, life skills. So which would be very vital for me to shaping myself also. Yeah. So that's the thing.
Lovely. Okay, maybe same thoughts from Aparna. What was Aparna's state of mind 30 days back and where is it now?
Okay, so initially I had this doubt whether I'll be able to work whole day in the sun, physical work, because I'm not much used to it. So I had all these doubts, but once I started working, the people who over there were like really friendly to me. They were like, if you have any problem, please come to me. I will help you out and all. They were very friendly, and I had this doubt whether I'll be able to do that or not. But now I'm like, it's very easy. It's like I can finish it. I have finished 1 month already. It's like 1 month to go. So halfway in the journey. So yeah, yeah, and as she said, I didn't feel homesick. So I remember last time when I felt homesick was like more than 2.5 years ago. So I did full drama and I came home, but after that I didn't actually feel homesick at all, not even a single time. So since I also spent time with my parents in between, like I be with them, I didn't feel homesick. And when people speak about feeling homesick, I will be like feeling a bit weird because something wrong with me because I'm not feeling homesick and all those.
So there's a problem there now, whether something is wrong with me. Right.
Yeah.
One maybe very important question which has just come to me because Yogi was talking about self certification, or as we call it, work certification at CoVersity. Upon a lot of people ask, like, you guys don't give any certificates. How are these teens really going to get an internship, or how is the industry really going to entertain them? So talk to us about what was your interaction with Managam like? Like you don't have any certificate when it comes to architecture or natural building, or how did you approach them?
Okay, so I sent to many people my portfolio and my introduction. So I sent it to many people, and one of them have forwarded my portfolio to the people in Mandagan. So it was like a connection through that, and they had some knowledge about, like, since they were into not fully homeschooling, they spend half of the day in the proper education system, but still they had some idea about open learning. And I had my portfolio which helped them to give me or me to show me as a person to them. So once they saw my portfolio, he called me, and that's how the interaction followed. And I didn't have any experience at that time, but for my next internship or for my next search, I have the experience of working in the field for 2 months. So I feel that as one confident way.
Lovely, lovely. So all the people out there who are thinking what happens if you don't have a certificate, we say portfolio is the way to go. Even if you have a certificate, I think let's not underestimate the value of a portfolio. And when does a portfolio come? When you start working. So that is what these teams had been doing for the last 3 months, heavy, rigorous work at campus, all documented into a portfolio. So we don't have one single certificate, but we have a huge bunch of portfolio. All right. Thank you, Yogi, and thank you, Aparna. This was a wonderful session catching up with both of you and hearing so many stories from this phase of your life and learning journey from CoVersity. For people watching, thank you for staying back. And if you have any other topics that you would like us to cover, let us know in the comments and we'll take that up. Thank you, Aparna. Thank you, Yogi. Bye.
Thank you, Kritika.
Thank you.